Hello everyone, I'm Allie and I'm going to be demonstrating the Chemical Change Cafe lesson. For it you're going to need the Pancakes Pancake book by Eric Carle. Alright, so the lesson objectives that are in the science book are to use data to construct a reasonable explanation and develop descriptions, explanations, and predictions using evidence. I connected it to the Colorado State Standard for 3rd grade physical science, which is matter exists in different states such as solids, liquids, and gases, and can change from one state to another by heating and cooling. The objective is I can observe the changes of matter and determine whether it is a chemical change or a physical change using evidence. So to begin with the first D, which is engage, I'm going to ask some questions about this piece of paper. So what are some things I can do to make this paper change? I can roll it. Is it still paper? It is. What if I crumple it? Do I still have a piece of paper? I know. What if I draw on it? Is it still a piece of paper? Yep, it is. What if I cut it into tiny pieces? Is this still paper? It is. So what if I put it into a jar and I light it on fire? Is what I have in this jar still paper? No, it's not. It is a completely new substance with new properties. No longer is the paper white. It smells different. It's just an entirely new substance. This is an example of a chemical change. The next D is explore. In the explore stage, students will observe changes in matter through lab stations. At each station, they'll fill out the observing changes in matter chart.
I know she said it's alright, but you gon' make it up next time. I know she knows it's not right. There ain't no use in lying. Maybe she thinks I know something. Maybe she thinks it's fine. Or maybe she knows something I don't. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of trying. It seems to me that maybe it pretty much always means no. So don't tell me. You might just let it go. Oftentimes we're lazy. It seems to stand in my way. 'Cause no one likes to be let down. I know she loves the sunrise, no longer sees it with her sleeping eyes. And I know that when she said she's gonna try, well, it might not work because of other ties. And I know she usually has some other ties, and I wouldn't wanna break them. I wouldn't wanna break them. Maybe she'll help me to untie this, but until then, well, I'm gonna have to lie to her. It seems to me that maybe it pretty much always means no. So don't tell me. You might just let it go. And oftentimes we're lazy. It seems to stand in my way. 'Cause no one, no, not always means no. So don't tell me you might just let it go. Harder that you try, baby, the further you'll fall. Even with all the money in the whole wide world. Please, please, please don't pass me. Please, please, please don't pass me. Please, please, please don't pass me by. Everything you know about me now, baby, you're gonna have to change. You're gonna call it by a brand new name. Please, please, please don't drag me. Please, please, please don't drag me. Please, please, please don't drag me down. Just like a tree down by the water, baby, I shall not move. Even after all the silly things you do. Please, please, please don't drag me. Please, please, please don't drag me. Please, please, please don't drag me down.
The next stage is explain, and then in this stage, you would pass out the chemical changes article and have students pair read it or independently read it, and they'll get an idea of what chemical changes are, what physical changes are, and properties or characteristics of chemical changes. They would then complete a Freire model for chemical changes and come up with a definition, characteristics, examples, and non-examples. So a definition might be a change in matter that produces new substances with new properties. Characteristics might include gas produced, changes in temperature, changes in odor, changes in color. Examples would be like when you cook a pancake or when a piece of wood burns. And non-examples would be when you tear a paper or when water freezes in the freezer. After they have a handle on chemical and physical changes, which again they'll get through their learning and through reading the article, they will then go back and decide for each station whether it was a physical change or a chemical change and circle the appropriate letter. To further the explained stage, you could read Pancakes by Eric Carle to the students and have them pay particular attention to the changes that occur in here. For example, Jack wants to make pancakes, and so his mom sends him to get flour, so he has to go pick the grain and takes it to the mill where they make flour or they change the milk into butter. So they'll have to pay attention to those changes and determine whether they are physical or chemical changes. So in the elaborate stage, the classroom would be converted into a chemical change cafe, and students would go through the process of making a pancake batter, and then the teacher would cook the pancakes, and they would be able to see the chemical change that occurs when you make pancakes and be able to explain why it's a chemical change. The final E is elaborate, and as a final evaluation of student understanding, you would hand out the new menu items for the chemical change cafe. And they would go through and identify which items are chemical change and which ones are physical change. Examples are, there's like toast on here, and it goes from white bread, and then once it's toasted, it gets new characteristics in texture and color. So they decide whether that's chemical or physical change. Or like trail mix, when just ingredients are mixed together, it still remains the same, so is it a chemical change or a physical change? So I'm going to leave you with the chemical change Freire model as a reminder of what a chemical change is.